Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video for Lord of Nazarick. And we have now the new character, the SR1, Climb himself. And we have him such a meme actually on our servers. We have Climb here. Let me go and check him out first from here. So we have the normal Climb, which is our character. And it was so funny. We're memeing on him always. Like, they made him like he's the love of the best healer so far by far. Like, if you can say, runner in the game, and he's an R character. So why wouldn't they give us somebody good? And they gave us this type or this a version of Climb, which is a doggo. He's a dog, okay? It's in his name, Faithful Dog, okay? He's the dog of runner with his armor. We'll be talking about him. He's a knight, so he's a tank actually from the Sapphire faction. He's decent, he's not that bad, he's okay. And he's so slow because his mechanic work lasts. So you want to use him as the last one to go with him. He has decent defense, decent magical defense, and decent HP. You need to build him on defense, a little bit of substats on magical defense and HP and reduction to damage. Forget about speed or attack. It does not matter at all on him. So let's talk about him and discuss what is he good with. So we're gonna talk about his passive first. It's the Loyal Knight. And every 5 basic attacks from the allies, including Climb himself, you're gonna trigger a chase actually to the target with the highest attack, excluding taunted ones. So if you taunted any other character, you don't go and hit them again. Now I'll be explaining why you don't go and hit them, because if they are already taunted, you don't need to taunt them again, because he gains 30% basic chance to taunt the target for 1 round. So you're gonna go and hit for 5 times and taunt the highest attacker. Now, if you already taunted them by, let's say, Albedo, you don't need to, by Knight Albedo, you don't need to taunt them, so he can go and attack the second highest attack, and then taunt that character, which will be awesome for a control team with full taunts. Maybe the other lizard, but nobody plays full taunts because you need damage dealers. But this is actually good. So he chases, he assists, and he support. He does all the 3 things together. We'll be talking about it. So at level 2, so when you increase him only for the second skill, gains 40% basic chance to inflict attack down on the target for 1 round, which is really good. So you can do attack down on 1 character and they will not eliminate you or deal that much damage. It's a 20% reduction in attack. Still, it's good. You can read it here. So it increases at level 4, gains 60% base chance of taunting the target instead of 40%, which is huge actually. 60% is not a bad number, it's a decent number. So if you build him a little bit on EP, that he could help him. And I would say build him on EP. So reduction to damage, defense, EP is the most things on him. And then you can go with HP if you want to, or magical defense, depending on your roles on substats. So at level 5, after every 4 basic attacks, not after 5, he can go and actually attack or chase the other unit, and he will inflict taunt if you are lucky, but he will be excluding the taunted characters already. This is for his passive. Beautiful passive for an SR character. I would say this is actually nice. As you see, we read assist here, and here he chases, so it means he will assist and chase. And then we gotta go and read that he support as well. He does everything as an SR character. Still, I wouldn't say he's really good. He's a decent character. He's one of the good tanks actually to be running on a control team, to be honest. Now his first skill, this skill is absolutely nice. It transforms from Swords of Guardian to Knight's Loyalty to Onslaught, okay, to Oathkeeper Onslaught, which is really good. So deals damage equal to 50% of attack plus 50% on defense. This is why I told you need to build him on defense. He's a defense character. He does damage according to his defense, and his shields is according to defense. Yes, he has shields. We'll be talking about them, but he's only for himself. He heals himself. He shields himself. He does not do anything. He's the most consistent self-sustain unit as a tank, as an SR tank, maybe as a tank overall in the game, because this is really nice for a tank to have. He taunts, he assists, he chases, he support, he shields, and he heals. What do you want more than that from a tank? Really, I'm like thinking about myself to go and build Climb. Actually, really nice. When used under Knight's Loyalty, Loyalty is the buff that you can take with using your first skill or your ultimate. Transforms into a more powerful skill, which is Oathkeeper Onslaught. That buff allows you to use the enhanced skill of Oathkeeper's Onslaught, consuming 1 stack per use. So you can consume Knight's Loyalty stack to get the Oathkeeper's Onslaught. Now, what does it mean? Consume 1 stack, deal damage, 60% of attack plus 60% of defense to the target, increases turn meter by 5%, and gains 1 stack of Fortress up to 3 stacks. Fortress can go up to 3 stacks. It increases his defense by 20% and his ER by 5%. Stacks for 5 times. It means you can go to 60% on defense and 15% on ER, which is decent actually for SR character. This character actually, I'm shocked how good they made him. He well-rounded, very, very good. And if you increase him, all the stats increase. At level 5, you're gonna go and deal damage by the Sword of Guardian. Normally, if you don't have any stacks, by 50% and 70% of defense. If you have the Oathkeeper Onslaught, you're gonna deal 60% of attack and 84% of defense, almost 100% of his defense. And the defense rolls high, okay? His defense rolls higher than his attack because you see, even if we max him, his attack 2,200, his defense is 2,800. So we build him more on defense, he deals extra damages, which is good for the first skill. This is only talking about his passive and first skill, and there's a lot to cover. Now his second skill, which he aids. It means he supports with this one. He's a protection. We're going to be talking about it. So selects an ally and applies, it's a buff on an ally. Applies Knight's protection that lasts for 2 rounds. Okay, guard the ally buffed with Knight protection whenever the ally is attacked, which is huge actually. And this one at level 5, it triggers. We're going to be talking about it. He goes and assists that target or supports that target. It means anytime that they're gonna get attacked, he stands in the front just like Yuri, just like PDL, and takes the attack instead of them, which is a good protection method. You can pick whichever unit, and until this buff goes from that ally, you would never do anything unless you stun him, maybe, then he can do. Now, why Yuri is still better than him? Yuri actually, when she does her assist, she assists everybody, and you almost can never stun her unless you have super high EP to stun her, because she will have the immunity or the ER buff, and you cannot go and stun her. He's a lesser version as a support for your characters than Yuri, because it's only on one character and you can still stun him and go and attack that unit. So a buff where the target is selected by Climb and supports that target. So at level 5, it triggers an assist from Climb whenever the ally with Knight protection launches an attack. So you need it at level 5 actually to go and do that, which is really, really huge. Okay, at level 5 you can get it. It's an SR character, so you can if you do a lot of summons and you get him to level 5, that's not an issue for you. Basically, we have almost every SR character at level 5 or 6. So at level 5, applies Knight protection. Okay, so at level 2, actually, when you skill it to 2, up to 5, you will go and increase the defense of the target. So the ally with the Knight protection gains 10% of the defense of Climb. It goes up to 20%, and then it will last 3 rounds, the Knight protection, which you can go and support actually for 3 rounds. So you can, this skill, it's for 2 rounds, and you can choose it on one character. And then when it refreshes or something happens, if you're playing him on HP or on Red Dragon, which you don't need to play him on Red Dragon, you need to play him on full defense, you can go and, or if it refreshes, you can go and click it on another character and he'll be supporting too and giving them defense, which is really huge. You can play them with another tank. So if you want to decide and play him on somebody on the same lineup with Knight Albedo, they go good together. Both of them taunts. He gives defense and protect Knight Albedo because she's gonna taunt it and everybody will attack her, so he can stand in front of them and take the attack. Plus he will increase her defense as well, which is really huge. Now his ultimate, which the one that shocked me the most, to be honest, it's a heal buff for himself, right? So Climb calls upon the higher power, seeking fortitude to fulfill his oath of protection, which is Faithful Dog. Okay, recovers 25% of his maximum HP, which is really huge. He's a healer, but only for himself. 25 of his maximum HP. That's really huge. That's a quarter of his HP. He can get it back to himself. Gains 5 stacks of Knight Loyalty. Now, we talked about Knight Loyalty here, that he transformed it into Oathkeeper Onslaught, and he does all of his shenanigans. You can start with this one, or you can start with the first skill or the second skill, depending on the way the situation of the fight goes. So whatever skill you start with, he's always helpful with any kind of skills, okay? Just you need to remember that. And passively, when he go and chases, he will not get Knight's Loyalty. You need to keep that in mind, that if you do the 4 attacks or 5 attacks or whatever with his passive, and he goes and hit with Sword Guardian, he will not gain this passive, the Knight's Loyalty from it. It only can get by clicking the first skill or clicking the second skill or the ultimate. Keep that in mind. So gains 5 stacks, which is really huge. When under Knight's Loyalty, Sword of Guardian, which is his first skill, Swords of Guardian, will be transformed into Oathkeeper's Onslaught as we talk. At 4 stars, converts 50% of the excess healing from the ultimate into a shield. So if he go, just like Renner, excess heals goes into a shield, he does not waste any heal. 50%, and at 6 stars, 100%. So if you heal, like if he's missing 1 HP and you heal him for 25% and he's at 6 stars, this 25%, 1% will heal him. The 24% will not 50% go on them as shield. It will go 100%. So the extra 24% is shield, which is huge actually for him because it depends on his maximum HP. This one, not on his defense. Okay, I thought the HP goes on his defense. No, it's of his recover of his maximum HP. So it's maximum HP, not defense. So you can build him on max HP if you want to play him for shields. And he goes up at level 4 to recover 32%, 32.5 of max HP. His skill cooldown goes to -1. It means every 2 rounds. And this goes every 1 round. No, every 2 rounds. Still every 2 rounds. And this have no cooldown. His passive have no cooldown. Every 2 rounds, really huge. I think it's cool. So 1 round you can play the ultimate, other round you can play his passive, which is huge. Let me talk about his Arclight. The Beloved, you can see him with Brenner, and now you know who's the dog. Both of them are puppies actually, in my opinion. Increase assist rate by 15%. Huge, and goes up to 30%. This is really, really nice. I can't believe that he gets assist rate as a tank. Really, really great. And gains 15% a chance to get 1 stack of Knight's loyalty after using Oathkeeper's Onslaught. So if he removes, or it's 30%. So it's 15% to 30%. After he removes the stack, there's a return rate, which is 15% up to 30 to get another one of the stacks, which is huge and keep him more consistent. Yes, I would say this one is a must-have on him, so he can assist even more and he can taunt the enemies. Is he a must build? No, he's not. He's just a meme. He's a really, really great tank. I will be building him just for funsies. I'll get him to level 60 probably, get his passives, everything, and reset him later. It's just really fun to play around these kind of units. Imagine you have Knight Albedo and you have him on one lineup. That would be huge. You can play 2 tanks, 2 attackers, and no heals, and actually taunt every single round with Knight Albedo and himself. Will really, really be awesome, especially if you're playing them with units that hit multiple times and increase their turn meter, especially like Nigredo. Nigredo now is in the game and she increases control debuffs. She might be increasing her turn meter, goes back to back, He can assist and go and even get or chases and assist and get a lot of taunt on the enemies, which is really huge. I like him in general. I think there's a place for him to be played with a Knight Albedo team. Yeah, that would be huge, and he can assist Knight Albedo or support her, and she can get a buff on her defense, and you can give him a shield from Knight Albedo because her shield scales off of her defense, so they will be thick on defense's shields, and he can heal himself and give himself a shield. Best relics to play on him. Absolutely, champion set is one of the sets that I would say to play on him because of the HP that it gets, because as we saw, he gets a buff on HP as well, so increases his maximum HP, which is really huge, and recover HP every time he gets hit. So every time he gets hit and he's full on HP, if you do your ultimate after that, you're gonna get a shield based on that. You can play him on the Red Dragon set. Again, it's optimal, it's optional. It's not the best one for him. It will reduce his cooldowns, but you don't care about his cooldowns anyway. You want to hit with the first skill as well as also. You can play him on this one. This one will give defense for your entire lineup. This is the best set for him, to be honest. And put some substats of HP, it will help you a lot. And reduction to damage, it will help you a lot as well. And you can buff your entire team with 7.5, including himself, and 15% from the bonus set for himself as well. This would be the best one. And if you are scared of the one-shot team, you can play this set on him. Also give him 15% boost in defense and reduce damage taken by 18% for the first time he gets hit, which will help him survive really, really hard. And yeah, that was it for our beloved new dog, Climb the Tank. Let me know in the comment section if you think he's good, he's worth it. Are you gonna build him and test him? For funsies, I build them to level 60, I reset them later. Any character, you can build them. As you see, I built Hilma to level 60. I can just go and hit the reset button and I can reset her. You can reset 3 characters every single time, which is really huge, and you will not be losing any resources or anything. You're gonna get the return 100% from them. And yeah, that was it for the video. I'll be seeing you in the next one.